In the news tonight, Jack distances government from Atwell's U.S. immigration case.
So that's why, for me, I don't really care too much about where she is. And it has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with us violating her human rights.
And the Caribbean Development Bank responds to $280 million U.S. shortfall.
How many lives, livelihoods, and life chances are being impacted by the absence of these resources?
Vice President Barry Jagdeo says the immigration status of social media activist Melissa Atwell Holder, also known as Melly Mel, is entirely within the jurisdiction of the United States government. Speaking at his weekly press conference, Jagdeo dismissed any suggestions of his administration's involvement in her detention, stating it doesn't matter where Atwell is located or what she says.
I said before, whether Ms. Atwell remains in the United States of America or she's deported is within the jurisdiction of the government of the United States of America. If she stays in the United States of America, we wish her well. If she comes home, she is welcome because as a Guyanese. We don't control what she says. She could say it from the United States of America, or she could say it, have her Facebook page in Guyana. For me, as General Secretary of the PVP, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where she is located. And what she says. I know that the people of this country would know that this is the party, in spite of all that's been said about us by extremists and people like Burke, racist Burke, etc. It's not going to make one iota of difference. People who live here have seen us work diligently every day to change the lives of all Guyanese.
Atwell Holder was arrested and detained by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE last Thursday and is scheduled to appear before an immigration judge on March 25th. Her hearing was initially set for June 25th, but has since moved to an earlier date.
So that's why, for me, I don't really care too much about where she is. And it has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with us violating her human rights. When a department like ICE apprehends you and holds you, it could be for only one reason. It's for immigration-related offenses. No, I'm not sure about it. They may have or they may not have. From what I gather, there are quite a few Guyanese who've run afoul of ICE, not Ms. Atwell alone. That there are others, and any Guyanese citizen anywhere in the world, if they reach out to our consulates or our offices abroad for help, regardless of who they are, whether they support the opposition or not, they're entitled to be represented, or, well, as far as representation go. If we're not gonna hire lawyers for everybody, but they're entitled to equal representation, whatever that level of representation is. So, if as a Guyanese citizen, Ms. Atwell wants to reach out to the consulate, she could.
Atwell, a well-known social media figure in Guyana, has built a significant following online.
Drink and taste, you will never decline. Extra lemon and lime. extra lemon and lime. Taste the citrus in every sip.
One of the things that would distinguish us from the other guys is our advancement in technology when it comes to security. We've been able to actually go ahead and provide home service, home security service, and drone service, among the other service that would have significantly contributed to securing society as a whole.
Running late and can't wait to the gate? We got you. The Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Limited has introduced a fast and easier way to make payments to your accounts through the GT&T mobile money services. Here's how. Click on the MMG app. Under Services, select Pay Bills. When you are there, look for the Financial Institution option. Once that is done, select Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Limited to pay your loan or make payments to your savings. Payments to the credit union made easier. GPSCCU, the credit union you can bank on.
The Caribbean Development Bank is taking decisive steps to mitigate the economic fallout resulting from a shift in U.S. policy, which has left approximately $280 million in undisbursed obligations to the region. CDB President Daniel Best announced at a press conference.
Our economics team has done an initial assessment. One of our early findings is that at this moment, there is approximately US $280 million in undisbursed obligations to the Caribbean from United States funding, whether it is USAID or other spaces. 80% of that is to Haiti. So this is not an immaterial situation that we're dealing with. Now, and the fact that the United States is not a member of the Caribbean Development Bank or doesn't contribute to our funds is called comfort, because we are of the Caribbean and we have a mandate to support the Caribbean.
He, however, said that the CDB has begun to take measures.
We have already convened meetings with CARICOM agencies that are being directly impacted, such as SEDIMA, the OECS Secretariat, and others that are being directly impacted, to seek to determine which space CDB could respond better in. One that concerns me greatly, of course, is the matter of early warning systems and the technical support we get. Ms. Isaac mentioned it in her speech. Resilience is not just about funding, it's about impact. And we have within the bank the technical expertise to support in areas where there will be a gap in the United States support, not necessarily in funding, but in United States support.
According to Best, the increased funding received from contributions through the bank's Special Development Fund will go towards financing projects that address issues such as climate disaster mitigation, diversity, equality, inclusion, and gender equality. The bank has $460 million in its Special Development Fund, which includes the $77 million increase.
These are the spaces where our funds will I think, come in most handy at a time like this. And then finally, we need to further bolster partnerships, new partnerships. I think you may have seen on social media and other platforms that I've already started reaching out to some what we may term non-traditional partners.
Best explained that the bank is already moving in the direction of seeking new partnerships as there is a need to mobilize more resources for the region. That will mean engaging non-traditional partners.
I mentioned $280 million, but I want us to consider how many lives, livelihoods, and life chances are being impacted by the absence of these resources. And we are prepared to step up with our traditional partners, with the SDF, and with new partners to respond to this gap.
Under the Donald Trump administration, a number of agencies in the region have lost funding. For these and other stories, do visit us at our website www.rdproductiongy.com.